Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Child, we have made it to the finish line. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, part 3 of the reunion. So y'all know what I was thinking. Basically, this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta season revisited. Child, because I'm just trying. This right here is like episode 14 or 15 or 16, and then part 2 was like 17, and then part 1 was like episodes 1 through 12 or whatever. Child, they could have kept this, honey. I'm gonna go ahead and get through this so I can get over with this and get on with my life, child. So if you're here for the first time, then welcome. Sorry, I was rude. If you're back for a second or third time, then you already know how I do. But if you have not yet subscribed and you have been here more than once, it's like something is just stopping you from hitting that subscribe button. Go ahead and do that for me right now. And if any of you get any enjoyment out of this video, please don't hesitate to hit that like button. Child, let's go on, honey. We're back over here in the dungeon, okay? Andy is asking Kenya why she was playing Carmen Sandiego investigating the Bolo situation. Okay, so they take us back to Bolo court. Then they show Marlo saying that Candy told her everything, honey. Marlo is like, look, all bets are off. Okay, I already knew what was going down. I tried to be quiet, but then I feel like Portia lied to me, and I'm trying to figure out why she lied to me. Marlo, please, honey, just say you want to be friends with Kenya. It feels like you've been holding this in forever against Portia, and you just want to fight for the sake of fighting. Okay, Portia said, well, when the cameras were up, they couldn't really do anything. Okay, she wanted to be flipped up, smacked down, and rubbed down, honey. She wanted to be flipped over and done something too. Okay. Bolo couldn't take off his Chantel outfit. He couldn't show his bolo. They couldn't touch it. She was just sitting there drooling. And Cynthia was pouring $1 bills on him, but they were not able to go all the way to P Valley. So, quiet as it's kept, honey, when the cameras went down, they lost their minds. That's basically what happened, okay? And they said they wanted to have a real bachelorette party, not a made-for-TV movie, okay? Portia said, just blame it on the Henny. Because y'all know how Portia is, honey. When anything goes on, she blames it on the alcohol, honey. Just call her Jamie Foxx. Kenya said, well, the cameras weren't down. Andy said the cameras were down. Kenya said, well, we're at work. Girl, child, please stop acting like y'all work at the local Jack in the Box or the local Burger Shack, honey. Y'all on TV. You're never going to be clocking in and clocking out. Stop acting like you're at a Fortune 500 company or you go sit in a cubicle during the day from the hours of 9 to 5. Y'all are on TV. Okay, the cameras were down. Things were done and they were doing things to each other. Okay, you picked it up because you don't like Portia. And that's just the bottom line. You don't like her. You can't stand her. And that's the bottom line. Kenya said, you know, Tanya went running in Cynthia's room to get ahead of the story, but Drew had already been in Cynthia's room talking. So everybody was talking about it. And so what? And so what? I mean, I really don't know what to say, y'all, because it's like this is getting ridiculous. I do not care about Portia's vagina. I really do not. I just don't care. Okay. So then Candy said, you know, everybody trying to drag me in it. Marlon said, Bennett, you in it. Okay. Like I wasn't going to say nothing, but now I'm mad. So I don't care anymore, Candy. So I'm going to keep it 200, not 200, honey. Marlo said 100 and 100 to grow on. Okay. She said, let me tell y'all, Candy told me everything the next day. Child, why Candy was sitting there looking just a little bit perturbed. Okay. Candy said, let me say something. Now, Candy, honey, you really pride yourself on being so real, honey. I don't disclose nothing. NDAs all day. Check out my Tiny and T.I. story, allegedly. Honey, no. You don't really just like Portia like that. You're okay with her, but in the back of your mind, you just waiting on the other shoe to drop. So, you know, you're just willing to say whatever, honey, and really don't care nothing about Portia if we just gonna be real, honey. You can't be trusted. All right? Portia is grown. Okay. So what you should have done, Portia, is you should have told everybody yourself. Create your own narrative and then you don't give Kenya nothing to talk about. If you just go ahead and say it, yes, I was popping it for pimp. I was busting it wide open. I was laying low and spreading it wide. I am single. Dennis has done me wrong. Honey, I know y'all watched season 12. So therefore, in thus and such, I'm going to do what I want to do. And what I wanted to do was Bolo. Y'all would have kikied about it, honey. They would have probably asked some questions. You know, Kenya mouth be wide open, honey, because her vagina's dry as a desert, honey. She ain't getting nothing from Mark over there. So y'all would have kikied about it. Kenya would have been wanting to know what I was doing. Cynthia would have wanted to know how deep did it go, honey. Did it reach your tonsils or whatnot? And y'all would have been done. But instead, Portia, you lied, and denied. But you didn't teach that to Tanya. That's why she's back in Canada. Okay? Anyway, child. So Kenya said if it was the other way around, y'all would have went in on me. I don't really know if they would have cared. Like, this is the thing. Kenya has such a disdain for Portia that it's like, oh, I just gotta go in. I gotta go in. If the roles were reversed, I feel like Portia would have said a little something, side-eyed her. It probably would have made her want to throw up, but I don't think she would have just went in with a whole investigation and carried it on from episode to episode. I just don't think that would have happened. That's just my opinion. Y'all can tell me down in the comments how you feel about it respectfully, okay? We always got to have a little pep talk when we do these Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion videos or the Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews, period, because people get a little testy. This season wasn't even that good for us to be fighting, okay? So just tell me how you feel and we'll move on, honey. Speak your speech respectfully. Candy said, listen, I was next door, so I automatically got dragged into it. When Candy got caught out there, honey, she starts with this high-pitched squeal. Y'all know how she is. Well, tell your own story, Marlo. Why don't you tell? Candy, that means you're lying, okay? So bring it down an octave like you did last night on that Versus, okay? Marlo said, well, at the end of the day, Candy is not going to lie. Candy said, well, let me be clear. Because I know that's Candy's favorite statement. Let me be clear. Girl, just get to it, Candy. So what? And then what happened, Candy? Candy said, look, at the end of the day, let me be clear. Marlo said, well, before you be clear, why are we sitting here, Candy? And Candy said, because it was a dungeon theme, bachelorette party. She said, no, because of Portia's lies. Then Shamia piped up and said, Portia, honey, you bad, honey. If you can get us in the dungeon from there, honey, you bad. Portia gets up and let me see you walk. Okay, so Portia did her little strut, honey. Kenya looked like she was about to throw up, but quiet as it's kept. Kenya actually likes Portia, okay? Underneath all the hate, she really wishes she could be friends with Portia. And the way that they started off was just stupid to begin with, honey. So she strutted around. Marlo was like, you need to go get some lipo. But Marlo, listen, honey. I know you got the lipo and everything, but I'm looking at you as you sit down, honey, and child, things are folded up. I'm just saying, honey, don't act like your stomach just sitting just completely flat in that dress, honey. Things are folded and whatnot. I'm just saying. Okay, I get it, you're mad, Marlo, but girl, please, honey. And also, don't forget that Phaedra is the one that concocted this whole lie. Y'all keep forgetting that. Portia was just the messenger, believing her so-called friend. Okay, so Andy said, is it because of the dungeon? Candy said, well, it's a very hurtful situation. Well, if it's that hurtful, then Candy, stop talking about it, honey. I don't want to hear nothing else dungeon related. I don't want to hear a dungeon talk, a dungeon tour, a dungeon anything. Don't even name your next kid dungeon. Don't even name your next business dungeon, because I know how you do. Child, you been and went and bought a dungeon and calling everybody in there on Friday nights. Please, just let it go. Portia said, well, you need to be obsessed with your man like you obsessed with me. Okay, and we're moving forward. Kenya said, the reason why I'm not letting it go is because she accused me of lying, and I have never lied. She said, you accused me and Candy of being a whore. Portia said, I saw it in the news. Listen to me. I am done with them. The way I hollered at the fact that this girl said she saw that in the news. Portia, if you don't shut up, girl, you ain't saw this woman was no whore in the news. Child, anyway, so Andy's sitting up looking crazy, and child, I'm tired, okay? Andy said, let's say she did it, and she don't want her mama and them to know, okay? He ain't say mama and them, but I'm judging it up. She did it, and she doesn't want her mama and them to know. She just want to keep it to herself. And what's the problem? Kenya said, but she's not keeping it to herself. I want her to apologize. Child, I wish I would apologize to you for me getting some pleasure, honey. I wish I would apologize to you for me getting what I want to get and me not wanting to let you know. Child, Kenya, you crazy, child. So then Andy asked Candy if she had forgiven Portia. Candy said, regardless of whatever, I'm always going to feel away. Honey, y'all know Candy, please tell me you hold a grudge without telling me you hold a grudge. Baby, Candy going to hold a grudge. She's still fighting with the girls from Escape. Y'all remember when they had that little show, like that little series? I think it was like maybe 7 episodes. And she was still harboring feelings from them saying things back in the 90s, honey, when we were kicking off our shoes and relaxing our feet. So, baby, Candy is not finna all the way forgive Portia for saying she's a rapist. I mean, Andy, come on now. You're asking questions that don't make no sense. So, Andy asked if Kenya trusted Marlo. And Kenya was like, yeah, because she's a straight shooter. Pow. Marlo, do you trust Kenya? Not a damn chance. Moving forward. Andy said, who do you think leaked the story to page 6? Latoya said, Kenya. Honey, I forgot Latoya was there. So then Kenya said, I did not leak it to page 6. It was not me. And then she said, page 6 has said some crazy stuff about me, so I definitely would not give them any information about what's been going on. So Andy said, Cynthia, who do you think it was? Honey, he had to wake Cynthia up, child. She was over there asleep, sitting up. I said, oh, Cynthia, blink 2 times if you're listening. Honey, I forgot Cynthia was even there. This is the thing. Cynthia, now, I've admired your pretty and your transformations for seasons, but I think it's time for your final curtain call. I see in you, in seasons past, yes, you have sat there and just smized, and we've noticed, but this season, I think your story has come full circle. We saw you go on there. You were brought on. And immediately you took to Nene. You guys were friends. Your friendship failed. It had a few bumps in the road when Nene called Peter a bitch. Okay. And then after that, y'all got back together, started being friends again. You and Peter got a divorce. You started dating this Will, who we're going to say didn't even really care too much for you. Y'all were having awkward fake kisses, and Eva said he had a whole girlfriend. Then you let that go, and then you found Mike, and you said that you would never get married again. And now Mike is in LA, soon to come to Atlanta. You guys have been remarried on 10/10/20 and seen. Honey, I think we wrapped it up with a nice little bow. And Noelle is dating whoever she dating. Honey, let's let it go. So Cynthia was like, I know it wasn't me, but all I'm gonna say is I know Kenya was pressed about it. Okay. So then Andy said, has anyone heard from Tanya? Portia basically said, Tanya done with these heifers. I'm loyal to Tanya, and she said she done. Andy said, well, it probably is because Tanya couldn't go back to her husband. Here go Kenya. Life partner. Kenya, I'd rather have a life partner than a partner who don't want me in their life. Honey, catch it. Girl, gone, child. So then she asked, so then Andy said, so y'all are still friends? And Portia said, yes, we're still friends. And then he said, well, Drew, Bolo said he knew you. Here go Drew. Yes, he said he met me with LeBron James. Honey, not his full name. Drew. Oh, Drew. Drew said, yes, he met me with LeBron James. And so then Andy said, oh, you were hanging. So you, Bolo, and LeBron James were together? Andy, stop trying to be shady with this married woman, honey. And you don't want Savannah to come after you, honey. She look like she don't play about Bron, okay? So you might want to wrap it up, honey, reel it in. So then she was like, yeah, no, not like that. It's like he said he saw me with LeBron, and I'm like, you probably did, because I run in Hollywood circles. Drew, child, ain't nobody running with you, child. Ain't nobody heard of you since Step It Up, or wherever you was, honey, over there in the game, sleeping with Derwin. And so then she said, so we run in those circles. Not LeBron finna release a statement. LeBron gonna be like, I don't recall meeting Drew Sidora. Honey, I don't recall, but maybe I did. No, I'm just playing with y'all, honey. I'm just playing with you, Drew, child. You probably know him, allegedly. Then we start talking about the prophet, child. Here we go. Then we see Drew with this Goodwill tape recorder trying to prove Latoya is a Jezebel. Okay, so they flash back, show the Goodwill tape recorder with the cassette player. Wait a minute. This is the part that killed me. Andy said, what did the tape prove? The cassette tape. I don't know. I do not know why that was so funny to me, but the fact that we are in 2021 and this man is saying the cassette tape, Drew, not a throwback Thursday all day long, honey. I'm not finna play with you, girl. Andy said, if anything happened, why does it even matter? Drew said, you know what? This is very sensitive for me, and I really take my religion very seriously. So can we pray? Child, I'm not finna play. So then they say this prayer, and then Drew goes, God, make it make sense and control my tongue. Girl, not you finna put make it make sense in the prayer with G-O-D. Girl, don't do that, honey. I have never seen anything like this before in my life, child. Drew, you can be so cringe. Don't play with the Lord. I just feel like this is you playing. Like, so you know how some people pray and you can hear some seriousness behind it. But I feel like Drew just playing with the Lord, honey, and I don't really like it. So Drew said, pastors from around the world were coming together and they pulled out because of her relationship with the prophet. Latoya said, what does that have to do with it? Andy said, she feels like it caused a rift within the prophet community. Oh my God. This is terrible. Let me tell y'all something. I bet Nene is sitting somewhere with her wig cocked to the side, honey, no lashes on, eyes popping, lips busting, honey. And if you're a true Real Housewives of Atlanta fan, you know what season I got that from. And she is probably looking at this like, child, I exited just in time, honey, because this is a mess. The way I cackled at him saying a rift in the prophet community, oh, that sent me, child. Who has sent me? Then Latoya said, it's the holy drip. Okay, Latoya, quit playing with the Lord. Why do y'all keep playing with the Lord? Drew started saying prophet, or whatever his name is, child. Prophet Lot was a fake prophet. Girl, please. Stop playing with the Lord, as I said. Praying over this mess. You look a mess. This is crazy. So then Andy said, well, you're condemning Kenya for the Bolo investigation, but you're investigating Latoya and what she's doing with the prophet. Drew said, I protect my family at all times. Child. They said, well, what about that wig? Because, you saying you protecting your family at all times and all this. Okay, girl, but what about that wig that you brought to that party? Because you were supposed to bring $1,000 gift. What happened to it, honey? And then Candy started piping up because y'all know Candy was pissed about that gift, honey. Candy was upset that this girl brought that wig up and through when she was supposed to be bringing $1,000 gift. So Cynthia said, if you were going to bring a gag gift, that's okay, but you should have brought something else, which is true. And so then everybody was like, Portia, don't try to act like you would have taken that wig because you would not. And she was like, oh, no, I told her that wig, that was uncalled for. So then Latoya and Drew kind of make amends because Latoya said, I want to get on a good footing with her. I want to be better. And she was like, well, they started saying something about the church, and then Drew was like, well, I'm gonna take her to my mom's church just so that we'll be good. Well, girl, you should have got your mama to do that blessing. Girl, gone. This just sounds crazy, honey. We go from prophets to penis, child. So then they flash back to Kenya and Portia and how we got here. So this is the thing. This beef is stupid. We all know Portia thinks it's 265 days in a year. So she accidentally called you Miss America. When she did that, you got mad, went out on the curb. She called you a curb ass bitch and said you are a slut from the 90s. Y'all, please excuse my language, but I have to repeat what Portia said. In turn, Kenya said, I am a national treasure, honey, and I am gone with the wind fabulous. She started twirling around, child. And at that point, a war had ensued, okay? But quiet as it's kept, y'all are arguing about her calling you Miss America. That's where it all started. Then Kenya said, we bonded over being pregnant, but fast forward to the couples event with Mark and Portia and Candy were laughing about me. Okay, so if you're mad at Portia, then you should be mad at Candy as well. Girl, she was the one. Really, Candy was the one doing all the talking because when they flashed back, Candy did the talking and then Portia just co-signed it. Child, whatever. Portia said it wasn't even about she was like, it wasn't even about that. It was about the way that I saw how she was treating my friends. And I just really didn't like it. And Portia said, even with the Marlo event, I felt like that was wrong. Okay, Portia. Girl, you were all over the floor when Kenya bust up in there with that Kenya more hair care. You were on the floor cackling. So that's a lie now, honey. I'm trying to give y'all the benefit of the doubt, but y'all lying and whatnot. Okay. So then she said, I just made a personal decision to pull away from the friendship. And so here comes Drew, child. She got to insert herself. And Kenya was also being mean to me before she even got a chance to know me. She was just being mean to me. Drew. Kenya was just laughing at Latoya calling your wig Drewisha because Kenya was friends with Latoya. So, of course, she laughing at what her girlfriend said, but then she tried to make sure that she got to know you on her own. You invited them into your home. Latoya was absent. Kenya was very respectful. She came in, sat down, ate, told you what a great party you threw, honey. Said your husband was fine, okay? But you didn't hear that part. And then, she was pretty cordial to you. So Kenya was like, that's a lie. Drew, you're a liar. All you do is lie, lie, lie. You're a liar. So we passed that on up. So then we see Drew trying to explain herself. Now, Drew, go on with that, honey. So then Shamia pipes up because Marlo said, can I ask another question? And Portia was like, no, you will not be asking any questions. And Marlo was like, no, I need to ask a question. So then Shamia pipes up, whom I forgot was there, honey, sitting up with her feathers on. And she says, let me clear the air. I am not her lap dog. Okay, I'm not her lap dog. I just want everybody to know that. And so Portia was like, that is wrong to call someone a lap dog. She's just my best friend and she's defending me. Well, Portia, I'm going to tell you like this, honey. When Phaedra was talking about Shamia sleeping with everybody's husband, and I'm doing that little movement that Phaedra did with that circle when she was acting like something was being inserted into a hole, you did not defend Shamia. How she's sitting up here defending you on this stage and how she's been doing in the past. Even when she went to go sit with Don Juan and Candy seasons past and they had said something and she straight checked Don Juan. She said, listen, let's not talk about my friend disrespectfully. I won't talk about Candy disrespectfully. Don't talk about my friend that way. But Portia, you have not returned the same. So, girl, I really could care less about what you're talking about. But, okay, go on, girl. Set yourself off, honey. And so then Marlo was like saying something. And then I forgot Shamia was there, and then Portia starts saying, ooh, I'm scared. I'm very scared. Marlo, you need to just go back to jail. You're a felon. You need to go back to jail. Oh, child, this is so stupid. Then Andy's like, let me dismiss these heifers. So Andy was like, thank you, girls. Thank you, Latoya, Shamia, and Marlo. So Marlo gets up, and then Andy was like, are you going to attack me? And then Marlo was like, just attack you with love. And honey, they twirled on off. So then Portia goes, ooh, she ruffled my feathers and I don't even have any on. Well, Shamia had enough feathers on for all of us. Okay, so you're fine. Then Andy says he wants to be a better host than the one in Charlotte. Child. Ooh, or Charleston, honey. Sorry, Charleston. He wanted to be a better host in South Carolina. So he said, you know what? I'm going to bring out some crab cakes because we know Kenya didn't feed the heifers. Out comes Drew's husband, Ralph, and looking like a butler. Thank you so much. Comes on out, and Mr. Belvedere passes out the crab cakes and scene. Child, oh, thank God it's over. Honey, don't come back with season 14 with no mess like this. As a matter of fact, I probably won't even be watching season 14 because, the girls wasn't giving. This reunion could have been a Zoom call or y'all could have just sent out one mass tweet or something because, this was just a mess. Child, I did the best I could do. Y'all don't fight down in the comments, honey, because this ain't really nothing to fight about because there really wasn't nothing going on. Honey, I don't even know how I got through it. Child, on to Married to Medicine, honey. That review will be up next. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Please share my channel with a friend. I am trying to grow. I thank you all so much for always returning to watch and have a good kiki with me. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.